All right, welcome back, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in. And hey, we got some craziness on my last video. Did a recap of getting burned, and I loved hearing everybody's comments and everybody checking out that video. That video exploded for me, and there was a lot of eyeballs on it. So make sure I'll try to post it up here, a link to it, so you can go check it out. But it was last Friday, and we had a stock blow up to like, I think it went past 260% gain for the day, and yet I managed to burn myself on it. So if you want to see a good video recap and a lot of great comments, make sure to filter down and go check out some of the comments in that video. A lot of them are really great, and I really appreciate hearing from everyone and kind of their take on that video. There was a lot of not hate, a lot of thinking that I could do much better than what I did, and that's for sure. But a lot of learning lessons in there, and some support as well, and some other fellow traders that got burned on it as well. But it was a hard one to swallow that Friday. And yeah, so we'll dive into the recap in just a sec here, but I just wanted to do a comment on that last video, and I want to actually pull up, what was the stock? Let's pull it up. Let's do that. It was ANVS, and yeah, this one, oh man, just absolutely got the best of me. And I really wanted to recap this because this was an important one. I think we've had a crazy market recently, and it takes a lot of skill of being able to adapt and adjust. And this is just my personal take on it, but I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. So leave them in the comments on this one. But with this market that's kind of been unfolding, and I'm particularly talking about the small cap trading world, is that for the last 2 weeks, it feels to me that it's been kind of pretty slow and choppy, and there wasn't very many opportunities. Although last week, Thursday, I think we had U1, which was this stock here. Let me see, yeah, and it had a really nice run on Thursday. And so I think that's when things kind of switched gears. This was the stock that kind of prevailed, and it went up a good amount. I don't remember the total percent gain on it. I don't think it was over 100, but anyways, that kind of, I think, brought some heat to the market. And on Friday we had ANVS, and this one just kind of exploded, but it was a very interesting, tricky stock to me. And I feel like if you were still caught in the mentality of the last couple weeks and it being slow and choppy, if you didn't adapt quickly to this, you might get left in the dust. And to me, it was difficult. And there was a lot of comments from you guys last week on it, talking about, it's like, dude, it went up 260%. How did you not make money on it? And hey, guilty as charged. I've been trading for a while, and sometimes it just happens. And I just had a lot of doubts on this stock at first. There was just so much strength out of the gate on this thing, and then it curled, it fell, and then came up and did this tricky move here of blowing up, consolidating, and then just ripping right back down. So if you didn't know what you were doing, good chances you might have been caught in it. And I got caught in it. So that's what happened to me. But anyways, make sure to go back and look at that video, because that was a one that really, I guess, a lot of people were interested in, just from the data that I got from that video, which was pretty crazy. So I appreciate you guys tuning in and checking that one out. Anyways, moral of the story, on Friday, I burned myself pretty bad and didn't do well on this stock, and it did crumble pretty hard and had a pretty deep slope here on the back side of it. So that's really where I got caught up in the mess, thinking it would eventually curl. But that was Friday. So anyways, moving on to today. this is where I just sometimes hard to wrap your head around. But for me, today was I did not make any trades. It's crazy. For me, I did not see any opportunities today, and I did see one, but for me, it was just not worth the risk. So SCPS was a stock that was leading the small cap market today. Up, well, currently, I guess at the end of the day, 71%. So here's the tricky thing on this one. This is how I want to break this one down. So this one here, as you can see, beginning of the market, I mean, it was already it moved up just enough to go into a halt, okay? Now, mentioning this, there was no volume really behind this at all, okay? So it opens up and goes flying high and goes right into another halt. Okay, this happens maybe about 2 or 3 times in a row, and of course I'm looking at it, but I'm going, look, with these halting stocks that do this, to me, in the past, I actually used to trade them sometimes, but they were just so risky because when the volume's low and they're moving to where they're constantly going into a halt, as soon as they open back up, you know, they're difficult because there's not much room to get in. And if you actually do get in and do get filled, you're getting filled at a spot sometimes where you have to set your price so much higher just to get filled, just to get into the stock. And once you do that, you know, sometimes these things come crashing down pretty hard just as fast as they went up. And the problem with these is that you don't know where the top is. And to me, the problem is you can't really trade these very easily because it's extremely hard to get in and then it's extremely hard to get out, especially at the price you want. So with me, you know, I saw this thing moving up and I told myself, I'm not going to even attempt to trade it until we can reach an area where it starts trading and doesn't halt anymore. So this whole area here was one of those areas. But at that point, you know, we had spiked so hard into this move here, going way up. I don't know what the total percent gain on it was, but, you know, going from what, $6 all the way to $20. Very impressive move. Problem once again is there's not enough volume initially going in, and it's halting way too fast for it to be tradable, in my opinion. And so I just had to sit on the sidelines and watch this thing go up. And then in this area here where it stopped halting, you know, it eventually consolidated and ripped down. So it wasn't even a good chance to get in and go long there. And it just kind of crumbled the rest of the day and then consolidated, but then faded again. So to me, absolutely not worth trading this today. And it was a bummer because I really wanted to trade. I wanted to make today, Monday, a good step forward for the week in my progress. And unfortunately, there was nothing. And I think this comes down to it's discipline, it's patience. And so I'm glad I practiced those things today and just didn't jump in on this just because I'm feeling some FOMO. Try to pull up some other ones that I kind of looked at today. CREX today, this was up 47% at one point. Actually a little bit higher than that. But to me, just not a good looking chart. Nothing I really wanted to trade. It, you know, spiked up and then absolutely crumbled. The market opened and just faded. So not a good looking chart to me for day trading. And, you know, there were a few other ones, but just nothing really worthy of taking a stab at. And I, you know, was just waiting for an opportunity. VSTM was another one that was kind of posed an opportunity, but it was kind of a slow moving uphill move here. Once again, I just didn't feel like it had the kind of opportunity that I was looking for. So, you know, it's hard to do. It's hard to just sit around and wait for opportunities, but I think that's part of the deal of trading, especially day trading. You know, you gotta be ready to move, ready to strike when things are hot. And sometimes it's like fishing. You know, you'll go out on the boat hoping to go catch some big fish, and sometimes you know you're fishing for a while and there's not even a nibble the entire day. So that's just how it goes. But I think that's really all I got today. So thing today is I want to hear from you guys. I want to find out what you traded in the small cap world. Did you decide to trade SCPS here? If you did, how'd you do? I want to know, are you red on it? Are you green on it today? Would really love to hear from you guys, but this to me, once again, I didn't want to risk anything on this kind of crazy move with all the halts. I mean, look how many halts. So many. But quite an impressive move up. So I'd like to see, you know, I'm hoping this week we can, it's great to see this momentum, but once again, for me, it was just not the stock to trade, but hopefully this can kind of bleed some momentum into the next day for Tuesday, or maybe throughout the week. But you know, I'm excited. I'm ready to go to really start trading a lot more. And you just don't know. I feel like this week has just been, or this month has been so crazy with trading, and where it's been slow chop, and then it's been big opportunities, but you have to kind of nail it. And I know I didn't, and I know a lot of you on Friday made some good money on ANVS, so congratulations to you. And but also check out those comments, because there's a few people too who ended up like I did and ended up getting burned pretty bad. So just kind of interesting things to check out if you are a day trader and you want to get a little bit more knowledgeable. There is some also some great advice in there. There was some people who were really had some good rules that they listed on what they follow. Certain things like averaging down. Don't ever average down unless it's you're planning for that. So some good advice in there. But there was probably a lot of other people who seem to be know-it-alls, and it's one of those things when you're looking at a stock, and I'm doing a recap here and talking about how my day went and how it went bad. And then at the end of the day, you can look at it and then tell someone, oh yeah, you should have done this, you should have done that, you should have done this. And, you can say that because now you've got evidence of the actual chart. So it's, hindsight's 2020. So you're saying, yeah, you should have bought in here. You should have, dumped it here, all that kind of stuff. So I still like hearing from people either way, even if it's to just try to school me on something. Or just to give some friendly advice. That's cool too. So I appreciate all of it, and I really appreciate all the input from you guys. But once again, I will link that video. I'll try to put it above, and you guys can check that one out. A lot of people seem to tune into that one, and I think it was because it had ANVS listed in it, because that was a huge mover for Friday. Going up 260% or whatever it was. Quite an impressive move, and I just feel like an a-hole for not being able to capitalize on it. But hey, it was just not my best day. I guess I wasn't as focused, and to be honest, I actually did leave for like an hour out of the day to go take care of some other business that I had, and I got back home and then wanted to keep trading because I knew this thing was blowing up. So that was not good planning on my part as well. Should have just walked away for the day, because I was up I think it was up like 281 bucks before I came back and started trading again. So maybe I should have just left it there, honestly. But that's all I got for you guys today. Show you the calendar real quick on how this month is looking, and it's not great. So in March we had just about 6,000. April was 2,200. This month is looking rough. We're negative 1163 at this point. So I was hoping today that, I could recover a little bit and have a nice, even a little green day would have been decent, but there was just nothing to me. So let me know what you traded. I'm hoping this week to finish green, definitely. And, I want to try to break even or get above that on the month for sure. But now I'm excited about next month because I look at my progress in months because, weeks are good to look at, but at the same time, weeks can be deceiving. I mean, look at this. First week was 455. Following week was negative 785. So, you really got to group everything together and look at your overall performance. And someone made the comment as well that my ratios were kind of decent. This isn't that great, but 10 trades on the month that are green, 5 that are red. I like to keep reds obviously a lot lower. But problem here is, look at this. I've got, I'm in a better ratio. Got a lot of more green days. The problem is the green days are smaller and the red days are much, much bigger. So that's what I'm going to have to keep in check is my losers. I tend to blow up my losers pretty bad. And while it's good to have a lot more green days, I've got to improve how big my green days are. So I think for me, what I'm going to focus on a little bit more, or at least try to, is I know a big fault for me, like on Friday here on this one, was I wasn't holding my winners. There would be times when I got into a position and it was going well and I would sell so quickly because I'm so used to scalp trading. And I think from the previous market feel was that I needed to, with the choppy market, I needed to capitalize quicker, and that was working for me. But when you have a mover like this, sometimes you really have to ride the wave and hold those winners a little bit longer. And when you get into the losing position, you got to be able to cut that quickly. And I pretty much had the opposite of that on this one last Friday. I had a bunch of winning trades, but I sold them all really quickly and didn't take the bigger stretches on them. And on my losing trades, I would end up holding those way too long, hoping that it would just turn around. So I should have cut those off much quicker. I would have been so much better off had I just focused even just on the losers, just cutting those quicker. I would have been way better off. So anyways, once again, hindsight's 2020, but that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys appreciated this one. And once again, make sure to go back and look at that other video from last Friday. And it has, I believe it has ANVS in the title of it. So it's a good one. And a lot of people commented on that one. So that's it. Hope you guys are doing well. Take care and let me know how you did today. We'll see you tomorrow on Tuesday.